Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching accesstv.org.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Anyway, I'm glad to say we're almost done with this election. I'll be so glad when November comes. But one thing I want to actually tell the viewers right now is actually really listen in and really know who you're voting for if you vote. There's people that's not going to be voting there. I think you should, especially down in Virginia, because they got a lot of problems. And that's what I wanted just to say. And another thing, which I'm going to be bringing on my guest in a couple of minutes, is like, do you have anything for your kids to do this year? You know, just because the weather's getting good, and before it was really cold and you couldn't do anything, the kids couldn't do anything. The kids are bouncing balls, and especially basketballs on the third floor of an apartment, which is not necessary. But anyway, we have to give our kids something to do. So this leads me to my guest this morning, is to Mr. Kevin Kirksey. He's Executive Director, GHPA Youth Basketball Program, Inc. He's a director. I was like, oh my goodness, that's a long title though. But anyway, welcome. And it's a good title.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I want to ask you're from the Hartford area, of course, yeah.
Well, I grew up in Windsor.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I've been kind of a mutt, so to speak. My grandparents lived on Hebron Street, so I spent 90% of my time over there until I got to be at about 10 years old.
Okay.
And when I was 10, we moved over into the Windsor area, and so I grew up through the fledglings of that area where I graduated from Windsor High School.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, and things now, it's different growing up with the with the youth right now.
Yeah.
And things are different, and everything has been changing, and that's why I really wanted to really bring you on, because we need to give the youth some activity to do. Even though it's inside the house, you got to find something that's a little softer.
Yeah.
But anyway, we live as we learn, and hopefully the younger kids that's having kids will be able to, come across the computer and just watch the show and just listen to what you have.
Okay.
And actually on the age group, you have different types of age groups and what you have basketball programs for.
Yes.
So what really made you want to develop this basketball program for the youth and, of Hartford?
It's funny that you asked that. Well, I've been doing basketball in the area since about, I'll say 19. Well, I started when I went to college. I came home. When I came home, I was complaining that there wasn't a lot of summer leagues and things of that nature for guys of 20 years old or what have you around my area to play in. So I said my thought out loud one day, and my father heard me. And he put the test on me, well, are you going to sit there and complain about it, or are you going to do something about it? And I kind of looked at him like, challenging me? So I negatively took that challenge and said, well, I'm going to go start my own league. And that's what I ended up doing. I started a 6-team like barbershop league at the LP Community Center where I grew up playing basketball.
That's out in Windsor, right?
Yeah, and what would be my soon-to-be co-founder partner in establishing the Greater Hartford program, he came to want to wanting to be one in the league, like put a team in my league. So we ran that for about 6 weeks. And once it ended, he came to me and he said, I'm interested in really starting a big summer league like we had seen when we were living in Virginia, because we were living in Virginia.
What part?
Actually, I was going to school in Norfolk, and he
Okay.
was stationed in the Navy. So
Okay.
the Navy in Norfolk and Chesapeake is like synonymous. So anyway, once that got established, we started doing what they call the Greater Hartford Program out here. That had, been going on. We established that in 1997. So in 2008, or a little bit before that, I was diagnosed with a liver disease, which when I was young, I thought nothing of. Didn't think it was very serious, but it slowly, accelerated its process on my body as I got older. So in 2008, it was very serious to where I had about 10% of my liver left.
Oh, wow.
And, they were instrumental in saying, well, you need a liver transplant. I said, okay, what do I have to do? And they told me the things that I needed to do, what I didn't need to do, and things of that nature. So ultimately, by me going through the different phases of getting ready for would be, a possible liver transplant, I'm going in and out of the hospital. And basically, I just had time to reflect on, instead of what I'm doing now or what I did to get here, what am I going to do when I get out of here? And I decided that I wanted to work more with kids, since we had established a staple to where is the older guys would see exposure playing on an NBA level court with NBA and collegiate players from the Yukon and the Central Connecticut or wherever. If you're a local player that goes to college and you're in our area, then you are able to, you're eligible to play in this type of league, which is pretty much a high octane kind of league. Like, you really have to be good at basketball to survive on this court, because the crowd is like the Apollo.
Oh, really? Wow. Oh, my goodness.
If you're not good, they're going to let you know you're not good,
Really?
but if you're good, you will be embraced by the Hartford community.
Okay.
So with that being said, and when I had my liver transplant in 2010, April 20th. And once I got out of the hospital, I went to my head coach, who I asked to be my head coach, Dawn Gittins. And I asked her, who had been doing work in the community as well as working with us at Pro-Am since 97. Like, she was there at the inception as well. So I told her that I was very interested in getting into what we call AAU basketball, which is just a high level amateur basketball circuit where you take kids out and they play in different tournaments in a structured arena. I didn't like a lot of things that I was seeing that was going on with the kids, like you were saying. And I implemented the challenge that my father gave to me. Like, if you're going to talk about something you don't like, what you going to do about it? So I didn't need him to tell me that this time. If I'm going to say something, then this is what I'm going to do. So that's kind of where it started, and I spearheaded and did what I needed to do until the point where I think her and I together, we started out with 3 teams and maybe 25 kids.
Wow, that's a lot of kids.
Yeah, to start out, and we would go to little different tournaments in the area, and we looked at each other like we might have something. And from there, fast forward from 2010 to now, this will be my 6th season operating the program. We're now a nonprofit organization, and we have 7 teams.
Wow.
So the kids range now from 10 years old to 16 years old. So that's where we are right now. But that's what really started it, is me just sitting in the hospital saying, what am I going to do when I get out? And how can I make a difference with working with our youth instead of dealing with these adults that already know what they're supposed to know?
Yeah, definitely true. Definitely true.
Yeah.
I got a basketball hoop somewhere where I could find. Bring the kids out, because the weather's going to get warmer. And actually, what we're going to do is going to talk more about your program. And just briefly, can you tell the viewers what's the process when you just start?
When I start or when a kid is starting
When
to
the
play?
kids start, yeah. What are you looking for usually, real
Um,
quick?
well, it's what I look for. I can't say that there's really a process.
Okay.
A funny thing. Why is my father sitting right next to me? But he always says that I had an eye. Like I
Mhm.
see stuff that isn't there anywhere. You kind of sometimes you have an
Yes,
eye
you
for
do.
something. People could see potential in someone.
Right.
I was told that I have a knack to see beyond what's right there, and I can kind of see where they're gonna be,
Right.
and that interests me. The task of finding that kid that has something that he doesn't even know he has. That really intrigues me, and to try to show him, if you do what I'm telling you to do, you'll see what I see now.
Oh.
And so just a lot of times, you see different kids grow up. And when you walk up to them, it's like, well, I told you this.
Yeah.
And it's like a little private conversation, but it's funny because it makes me feel good for a kid to realize their potential. In basketball or in life, it's the same thing. So what I look for in a kid, I can't tell you, but
Okay.
passion.
Okay.
I look for passion. I'm a very passionate individual,
Okay.
so I can recognize passion. So you look for passion. You want to being able to listen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, a person. I want a kid that wants to learn.
Yeah.
He listens. He's passionate, and he wants to work hard. You can be very, very, very talented, naturally talented, but if you don't listen, eventually the talent is not going to outweigh how hard-headed you are, or how not insubordinate but bullheaded you might be, or stubborn you might be, to let someone help you get to the next level that you are.
But well, wait a minute. I hate to cut you off,
No
but
problem.
we'll be right back. Okay. Welcome back. I'm here. We're here. Well, I am here talking to Kevin Kirksey, Executive Director, GHPA, Youth Basketball Program, Inc. All right. Welcome back.
Shorten it off and say GHPA. How about that?
GHPA.
Yep.
Okay. All right now, but still working with the youth. Now let's keep on talking about the youth and what you actually do. And we were talking about, well, first of all, I asked what your process, and you said there isn't really one. You're actually looking for kids, and you have the eye for kids and how they can really improve themselves, and they have to be a good listener. No, go ahead.
No, that's pretty much it. But for parents that are interested in getting their kids in basketball,
right?
There are, what people don't understand, there are a lot of community things that are going on in the area. It's not just me. I do, when GHPA, I'll say it like this, and I'll get to your question. GHPA Youth is, we do travel basketball, but I try to run like a year-round program and offer different things. And they might not all curtail to one specific thing. So I'll try to give you a chronological timeline. Okay. So right now it's March.
Right.
we will begin what we call our AAU component. And what that is just what I said, the teams from the age 10 to the age 16 years old.
Right.
Now, what those teams are compiled of are kids from the greater Hartford area that are that have tried out for these teams to go play on a high level competitive basis.
Mhm.
And these are different tournaments throughout the East Coast region. We'll go out to the Philadelphia area,
Oh,
Boston
wow.
area. Like we don't really I want to take the kids as far as I can feasibly without it costing an arm and a leg,
Yeah.
for the parents, for the program, but it's enough to where is the children get to see different competition from different areas, because you have a lot of or you have a few organizations that have basketball leagues, travel basketball or community center basketball, where the kids are continuously, playing against each other. So when you're doing that and you're going to go to this level, it's like, well, why do we want to continue playing against the same kids? We just saw them for the past 3
Right.
months. So I try to find different areas to bring the kids to play against different talent that are on the same level or higher level than we are, from different areas and different states that, are looking for the same thing. So with that being said, we'll play in about 9 to 10 tournaments like that,
Mhm.
and that'll go until June.
Mm.
So that's pretty much when the season ends. So from April, from March until June, there's that component for the 6 teams.
Mhm.
Once that's over, then we get into putting kids that are interested into different summer leagues.
Okay.
You
That'd be
understand what I'm
great.
saying?
That's great.
Yeah. So, if the kids are interested, and whoever's interested and still around and hasn't gone on to vacationing, with the family, or going to visit grandma or what have you, then they're able to, if they choose so, to continue to develop during the summer via my head coach. She does her little summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on establishing a bigger summer camp for her to run the whole program through, and even maybe work on doing a summer league that we can have teams such as ours to compete, on a local level, just to kind of keep them sharp, keep them busy, have something to do while the summer is going on. With that being said, now when we get into July, I'm doing the pro-am. Now, what the pro-am is for older kids, but that segment from July until August, it provides a haven for a lot of kids, a lot of teens, a lot of adults to come 5 days out of the week, Tuesday and Thursday not included, to sit down in your Hartford area with your community fans and brethren and watch great basketball from 5 o'clock until 10 o'clock at night. That's a lot of stuff.
Yes, that is.
For kids to be doing, whereas they don't have to be involved or exposed to the outside elements of there's nothing to do. Because I've learned, and as you know, when you have nothing to do, then you always can err on the side of mischief.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be perennial mischief, but mischief is mischief. So the more structure that you have in your son or daughter's life,
Right.
the better. So we try to make sure that we invite all of the community to come to that. When August comes, for the past 13 years, I've run a free tournament during the Keeney Park Family Day Festival.
Oh, okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, but and this is geared towards the kids that are of 14 years old, a middle school age and under. So you have something for the middle school kids to do all day. From 8 o'clock, the championship game is normally at 6, and it's been concurrent. All the kids have to do, I invite certain teams. Teams come, maybe they don't have enough players. I'll pull kids right out of the crowd and let them play, as long as they meet the certain criteria, because family day is family day.
Right.
And it's a lot of teams that, they claim their kids and no, you can't play. And it's like, well, this is family day. So just because your kid plays on one team, if there isn't any room, let them play. It's not
Mhm.
about, it's always about competition, but it's about unity.
Yeah, playing together as a team.
Exactly. It's unity. So we might be competitive enemies at a tournament,
Hmm.
but we're all from right here. And the only way that we're going to be able to work together and be right here is to show examples of, well, this organization and this organization teamed up so that they can have a team to play in this so that the kids benefit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people lose sight of it's always about the kids. It's never about an individual. It's never about a brand. It's never about a status. It should be always about the kid. And if you keep the kid in mind, then it'll be harmony for all.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So with that tournament, once that ends, I take a break. It's a short break.
Yeah.
And then starting when the school season start, what we do is I have what I call workout Wednesdays.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, and what we do is we take in kids that want to train that might have been a part of the program from the AAU season or what have you. And if
Mhm.
they're not playing on some type of travel team or what have you, then they're welcome to come to the gym. We'll go through drills,
Mhm.
give them something to do, hone their skills to get ready for next year. I welcome high school players that are getting ready for their high school basketball season. So it's like an opportunity for all of the kids to sharpen up their skills before they go on to the next thing of what they're doing for whatever team, whether it's junior high school, whether it's high school, college. It
Yes,
doesn't matter. If you're
yeah.
around and you want to work on your skills, I give you intermediate to advanced skills.
Mhm.
At some point, I have to figure out, because people ask me, where can I do like a beginner's camp?
Yes.
But it's difficult. But there are organizations out there
Mhm.
that actually work towards that. So I'm happy for them. When people ask me, I tell them, go to Saturday Hoopsters.
Okay.
Saturday Hoopsters, I think that they do a good job introducing basketball to the community. And just like GHPA is here, like I
Right.
will speak about anybody that's doing anything positive for the kid. Doesn't really have to be about me, because if it's not, GHPA is Greater Hartford. And if you can't speak about people that are doing good things in Greater Hartford, then how are you holding the name,
Great.
GHPA?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what's going on. And then once I finish training the kids, I go from September all the way to March with that.
Wow.
And then in
Good.
December, I do a big high school tournament. Actually, I can't say I do it, but I just started doing a big high school tournament called the GHPA High School Basketball Classic, which I started to do because of, rest in peace, Doc Hurley.
Yes.
And what he meant to me as a mentor. And he asked me to help him with his tournament as far as doing youth clinics.
Right.
And then after time, he entrusted me to kind of go out and talk to teams and try to, make the tournament stronger. So with the lessons that he gave me, as far as the exposure to get the experience to learn how to do that type of event, I was able to take those notes in that blueprint and apply it with his blessing to doing, continue to do basketball tournaments, because I do basketball. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it was like, I want to do this, but I want to make sure that I keep it in the spirit of Doc Curley. So it's the GHPA High School Basketball Classic, but the whisper is spirit of Doc, because this is what he started. I'm never going to be Doc Curley. I'm not going to try. I did want to be him. I did want to be him. But it was for the wrong. I can't say it was the wrong reason, but I tell anyone that asks me, and you didn't ask me, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Great.
I went to I think it was a Doc Curley Classic, but I just was going to the basketball game. I knew one time was playing against another, and it was at Central Connecticut, and I'm young.
Oh, wow.
When I get there, I'm walking and I see this big Lincoln sitting right outside. When I say right outside the facility, on the sidewalk, next to the door, next to the entrance door. It's not on the street. And it's a bunch of the motorcycle guys, the
Wow.
police,
Yes.
like he's parked inside of that. And I see the letters Doc Hurt, and I'm like, who is
Wow.
that?
Okay.
And I was like, he got the best parking spot in
Yes.
out of anybody. I don't want to be who that is. Like, I don't know who he is. He could be an agent. I have no idea. But so anyway, I later learned seeing him move around that that's who that was. But you know, it was an honor for him to, you know, summon me and ask me to help him out. I was like,
great.
oh,
Wow.
you know, it all connected. Like, I really wanted, and I never thought about working with him. But you know, with all of that being said, in December, that's like the last hurrah of GHPA is to do that. So this year was the first year we did it, and we had 10 teams. It was highly successful. We did it at Trinity College, so I'm looking to do it again this December. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We'll be right back with the last part, last segment of the show. Okay, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thanks.
Imagine a place where words of hope and kindness fall like rain, where people find out who they are and who they are created to be. A place where you can reveal your deepest secrets. A place where you can start over. Imagine a place where you can find a hope that never dies and a love that never fails.
Give us a try this Sunday. We have events and activities for every age.
At the Victory Cathedral, 185 Bellevue Street, Hartford, Connecticut.
We're back. The last segment of today, actually. Anyway, I'm here speaking with Kevin Kirksey, the executive director. I'm just going to say, hey, GHPA. Okay.
Yeah.
So, oh gosh, we're talking about Doc Hurley and everything. Wow. Very fantastic guy. We were talking about Family Day and the kids, and it's just like you have a really busy schedule with the basketball. So I know you love it.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
This is what you love. And what I want you to do is like give our viewers some information on your upcoming Family Day, which is going to happen in August, you said, right? Do you have a particular date yet or not?
Yes. Well, I play off of the what do you call it? I piggyback. And what I mean by that, the organizers of the whole Keeney Park Family Day organization, the Friends of Keeney Park, they actually normally established what the dates are going to be.
Okay.
And then I'll talk to the organizers, Victoria Green and Victoria Virgo, and her son Herb Virgo, who is now I believe the operating officer over there. Charles Christie actually was the original person who introduced me or invited me to be a part of the whole process. And so I kind of sit and wait for them to tell me, okay, this is going to be the date. And then they ship me the date, and then it's go time for me to start organizing the basketball segment so that I can put it in the coordinates of what they have scheduled on their timeline. Okay.
So that'll be coming up, and we'll let you know.
Family Day is every August, I believe, the third weekend.
Really?
Yeah, the third weekend. This will be the 32nd, I believe.
Oh, wow. Okay. I got to come out there. I don't like the heat too much, but I like the warm air, but gee whiz, it's like, it's nice. I got to wear a big old hat. But anyway.
I think the soonest event that I have, March 26th.
Okay. Yeah.
Saturday, March 26th, we're doing a movie and a meal breakfast fundraiser.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I got so much going on, I forgot about it. But what we'll be doing is we will be at the Bowtie Theater.
That's a nice theater.
300 New Park Avenue, and on the morning of March 26th, and we'll have some vendors there. Wentworth Taylors will be there.
Okay, yeah.
JNS Travel, they will be there. Their travel agency, they will be there. I've been speaking to JV Harvey about attending to do a book signing. And I have some, other people that'll be coming in as well as vendors and sponsors as well. And I welcome anyone that wants to be a sponsor. The funds will go to purchasing apparel for our youth for our upcoming 2016 season. I'll have Chef Jay. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
I know. Yeah,
Chef Jay.
Yes, I know Chef Jay.
He'll be him and his team will be preparing the food. They'll be serving the food. So so he's also a sponsor.
Okay,
Supreme
yes.
Clientele Barbershop, they'll be sponsoring as well. So I'm very thankful for a lot of the people in the community that have gotten behind the event. We'll be showing Batman versus Superman. And now I'm working on seeing if I can get it shown in IMAX.
Oh,
Now,
okay. All right now.
I said I'm working on it. But the tickets are $25, and what that will go to is a donation to it pays for the ticket to the admission to the movie. It also pays for your breakfast, but it also leaves a donation for us to raise money, like I said, for our program. For children 11 and under, or kids under 12, it's $15 with the same thing. All tickets are pre-sale only, and you can look on my Facebook page, GHPA Youth, and you can see the event, Batman versus Superman. If you're interested in contacting me, you can contact me at ghpayouth.gmail.com.
I got a question. Do you ever work with anybody that has disability or anything like that? Have you?
I haven't. I won't say that I won't, but I haven't. Actually, my nephew, he plays wheelchair basketball.
Oh, okay, great.
He actually was he played football for East Hartford.
Okay.
And he was running and he fell. And, so it was really tough for him. And he found the love I used to play with him and my nephew. I used to play with him in the court all the time. He would rough my nephew up. My nephew hated it. But so now what he did is he joined a wheelchair basketball league. So I've tried to come and support him. And unfortunately, my schedule is so crazy. So I guess I'm saying this into existence. Somehow I'm going to figure out how to do something one time to whereas I involve him in the wheelchair basketball community with, some type of game or something. Just to let, kind of what you're saying, is just to let him know that, yeah, you're playing basketball and I see it. So let's try to do something for you too.
Right. Because I think disability people, anybody with any type of disability, even if they, they have potential, they can do it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And actually, when does your program start again? Can you just...
Which one? Well, my AAU segment is starting now. Actually, I'm going to be looking to find 16 and under kids that are 16 years old and won't be 17 until the following year.
Oh, okay.
That are interested in playing the AAU level basketball. So we'll be trying kids out this week upcoming at Bloomfield High School on Wednesday, 6:30 until 9 p.m., 5 Huckleberry Lane.
Oh, that's interesting. That's good. That's good. Do the parents ever get involved, or is that only in the family day?
Oh no! The more help, the more positive help I have, the better. We encourage when the kids join. We encourage them to be a part of the fundraisers. We encourage them to come to the tournaments to support their kids, because what they don't understand, just like I was mentioning my father, like when you have your kid playing, it's always going to be that time that they look to the side to see, where their parent is. Right, definitely. And what the look on their face is or what have you. And, it's you have some kids that pay attention to it and some that don't. But the ones that really pay attention to it seem to be the ones that know their parent can't make it a lot or is not there a lot. So when they do show up, it like lightens them up. As opposed to when they leave, it might bring them down. So, being influential in your kid's life as far as supportive of them in anything, obviously, is very important. But I tell people, you said, what do you look in kids? What I encourage a father to do, an uncle or a brother, is to teach that child as much as you know before you bring him to a trainer, bring him to a program, bring him to the YMCA, bring him to Park and Rec, bring him to the Salvation Army, bring him to the Police Athletic League, bring him to the Boys and Girls Club. Before you do any of that, teach him as much as you know.
Right.
Because what you do is you establish a bond between each other using that sport. And when you do that, now when you bring him to another level, you can relate to him about, remember what we talked about, remember what he showed you. Like the conversation just is seemingly endless if you start that way. I encourage anyone that has a daughter or a son that wants to play basketball, if you have an uncle, if you have whoever is involved in basketball that knows a little something about it, have them work with them as much as they can while they're young until you get to the point you say, I've taught you as much as I can. Let's send you to somebody that knows more than me.
Right. And I will be out there. I'm going to come out there a couple of times. I do want to thank you for being my guest. And actually, before we go off, can you give the viewers your information again so they can, touch base with you if their kids are interested in, joining you into any part of your teams that you have? Sure. You got so much going on.
Sure.
Besides your own job. But I tell you, you're doing good.
My website is www.ghpayouth.com. That's GHPA YOUTH.com. My email is the same, ghpayouth@gmail.com. And my Facebook is GHPA Youth Basketball Youth Program.
It's a lot. Well, thank you again for coming on my show. I do appreciate you.
Thank you. No
tell you,
problem.
you've done a good job.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. And thank you for joining me.